This one is tembo. It takes around 6 months to mature.
Okay.
At this stage, it's around 5 months. It's almost physiologically mature.
Okay.
But it goes up to 6 to 7 months towards harvesting.
Okay. So this is supposed to be silage crop.
Yeah, this one is a silage crop, or it can also be a commercial, depending on the necessity of the farmer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would be the difference in terms of going about it when I'm planting a silage crop and when I'm planting a commercial, crop? What would be the difference in terms of preparation from land preparation to maintenance of the crop?
Ideally, land preparation is almost the same, because you are supposed to do it during on dry season. For instance, in our case, tunaifanya on October and December, toward October to December.
Yes.
That's when you do the stumble or breaking, depending on the way your land is.
Okay.
You also do proper harrowing and maintain a very fine till. Then after that, you do dry planting, of which, for instance, in our case, for this one is silage, there was a bit of fall off by seed by erosion, I think.
Okay.
But it's supposed to have a very high population, more than the commercial. For the commercial, you do 75 centimeters by 25, and for silage the population goes high. And after you do the land preparation, you are supposed to do the first harrow, and another harrow. Accordingly, you achieve the fine till. If not, you repeat another one. Okay. Then during planting, you're supposed to maintain the proper distance, assuming the proper spacing, assuming you are doing the commercial one.
Yes.
You maintain the 75 by 25.
Okay. Then
after that, you do the completely dry planting to ensure you have a very uniform crop.
Okay.
Then on onset of rain, you're supposed to take not more than 3 days to do the pre-emergence spraying, of which you're supposed to use the right herbicide and the right rate, and you do the proper timing. And also, if your process is mechanized, you're supposed to use maybe a well serviceable tractor and a boom. Should have a well serviced booms, and also ensure you have.
Booms is a sprayer, right?
Yes, the boom is an implement. Then the tractor. So when you are applying the herbicide, you're supposed to use the right rate. Every herbicide has those manuals. You read the manual correctly and you apply the right rate. You do it the right time. And you ensure your soil is very moist, assuming for like 2 inches moist, because for pre-emergency one, they require a lot of moisture in that. And also, after pre-emergence, you continue scouting. In fact, you're supposed to scout as fast as the first day you plant. After scouting, you ensure there is no the emergence of the weeds, and maybe any insects or whatever, those things, you're supposed to ensure you spray. The next step, when the crop is around 4 weeks up, una spray to control the fall armyworms and any other pests in the seed, in the crop, and also ensure there is no weeds again. Towards, again, 4 to 6 weeks after that, you do the top dressing using the right fertilizer, and you ensure you put the right rate. Okay. For instance, if you are doing an acre, you are supposed to do at least 100 kilos of of any top dresser you are using.
So what informs the rates?
The rates, at times they are determined by your soil test. In fact, before you establish a crop, you are supposed to do soil testing. KEF usually does that. The other companies usually does those things. You test your soil for acidity and if they are basic and whatever, and they also advise you on the right fertilizer to use. Okay. So if they advise you, maybe your soil is not acidic, you might need to use 100 kilos of CAN or any other top dresser you are using.
Yes.
Yes. And after that, there is, if the crop is well maintained, there is no weeds, it's healthy. You can wait for it up to the flowering time, the flowering stage. During tasseling, you might need to check on your crop if it's a commercial one. If there is any need to add on fertilizer or any other supplement, maybe a foliar feed, maybe you might need to check on pests and any other fungal diseases, and maybe any disease. Okay. You need to keep checking. After flowering, you wait for your crop to physiologically mature. After maturity, you wait for it again to dry up to maybe 20 to 16%, depending with your way of if you have a better way of maintaining it to avoid post-harvest control losses. But it's always recommendable for 16% during harvesting. You harvest your crop at 16, then you dry it. You can shell it. In fact, it's a very good moisture level for shelling at 16%. You can dry it up to 13 to 12 and you rebag it in the required, there are those bags nowadays that avoid pests and whatever.
Yes.
Or you put those, the insecticide, whatever, to avoid the weevils and all those things.
Yes.
Then you keep them in a well-aerated room and also ensure there's no moist in that room.
So this specifically, it is ready for harvesting. We should be going into the bunkers anytime from now.
For this one, it's for the silage, it's ready.
Yes.
At this stage, it's ready. In fact, we are doing it in 1 day time.
Oh,
We should
okay.
be harvesting
It's
the
ready,
silage. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Let's go to commercial plot for
That one is seed maize.
that is seed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is a continuation of what we had there, but for these settings, we have a seed maize. You can see it's different from the other one.
Yes.
This one is a medium variety that it's maintainable in those regions that have not much rain, but at least moderate rainfall.
Okay.
This one is for, we are doing it for a company, it's called Seedco. It's SC403 hybrid, but it's a seed. This field is different because we did minimal tillage, the conservative tillage. We glyphosated the land, then we planted. We didn't do the stubble plowing and all those and harrowing and whatever.
Yes.
We just glyphosated the land and we planted.
So other than the fact that obviously that affects the cost of production tremendously,
Yes.
when you do not have to plow and maybe harrow twice,
Yes.
you just go ahead and plant.
Yes, you
That
just.
effect obviously reduces the cost of production. Other than that, what would be the advantage of minimum tillage when you're planting maize?
In fact, the major one is what you have just said, cutting the cost of production, and also it maintains the soil structure. It also helps to maintain the soil moisture.
Okay.
That one.
Yes.
In these settings, we have the seed maize. When you are doing the seed maize, you are supposed to ensure you have the first thing, you have enough land for that. Number two, you are supposed to maintain the isolation distance, especially when you are doing commercial silages near seed maize.
Yes.
You are supposed to maintain a 200-meter isolation distance between the commercial and seed. Then you're supposed to plant, the spacing of the seed is more like the commercial one, the 25 by 75.
Okay.
And again, in that piece of land you have, assuming you have 1 acre, you're supposed to have 75% of the female lines. Those are the ones that we have tasseled. You can see them. These are the tasseled lines are the female lines. Then those one with the tassels.
What do you mean the tasseled ones?
The detasseled one, I mean, those ones that don't have the tassels. We removed the tassels.
Yes.
Those are the female lines.
So they are missing.
They are missing the tassels.
Yes.
So this one is an advanced crop.
Yes.
So when you come when it's young, you cannot really differentiate from the males and the female lines.
Yes.
This one with the tassels are the female lines, are the male lines,
The male
sorry.
lines, yes.
And this one that we remove the tassels are the female lines.
So you do two
You do 2 lines.
lines of this.
And
the rest are females.
the rest are females.
How many of those?
There are 6.
6 of those.
Alafu you do 2 and 2 in a lines of 10 lines. So in another way, you do the 75% of the crop should be the female, and 25% should be the male lines.
Okay.
So during the early stages of growing, it's more like the commercial one. You just maintain a clean and field that is weed free, diseases free and pest free. You ensure you spray in time, especially when they are young, the pre-emergence one. Just in case you are caught by time or rainfall or whatever, you can do the post-emergence spraying using the right herbicide, right timing and right rate.
Yes.
So another thing you should note, especially when the crop is young, you cannot realize, you cannot differentiate the males and female unless you are keen or an expert in that.
Yes.
During the process that it goes on, there is a place during the tasseling stage. You remove the tassels in the female heads before they open to avoid selfing in the female lines.
Yes.
Okay, so before the tassels open, you remove the tassels before they open to avoid the selfing of the hybrid.
Okay.
That time, I forgot to say that we should have the KEFIS, we have this, the government corporation, the KEFIS, should maintain the health crop and a quality one. So they come checking during the planting whether you have done it the right portion, have done it the right way, isolation distance, and whatever they maintain those standards. So during the tassels, you are supposed to have several inspections done. Most likely they are usually 3 to 4. The first inspection before they even start tasseling and silking. The second one during tasseling and silking, as you continue removing those tassels before they open. And there is another one after you are done, like this one. Like this one, we are in the second stage of inspection. It's done already. According to KEFIS, we are clean. We are waiting for another one after it's physiologically mature and almost drying to 16%, 20 to 16%. There is a pre-harvest inspection usually given to us. That is a more a way of allowing you to harvest that crop. After you harvest that crop, depending on the seed match and we are doing for it, for instance, if I quote like Kenya seed, you just harvest the crop when it's 25% moisture and maybe below that. Then you go to you put it in the shades. You do something we call crop selection and you grade. You put you remove the deceased crop just in case they are there. The undesirable traits, maybe the rotten one. At times you have more rains when you're harvesting. The good crops and the quality ones, you are taken to the factory. That's when they do the processing. But the rejected ones, the undesirable crops, we call them the rejects, usually used for animal feeds. But depending on the merchants, there are also others that opt to shell the crop in the farm. So after you get the pre-harvest for harvesting, when they are 20% moisture, you harvest the crop when it's around 16% moisture. You do crop selection, and before you shell it, you are supposed to get an authorization for KEFIS for crop inspection. When they consider your crop clean and healthy, you can shell it. Then from there, you pack it at a 12 to 13% moisture. Yeah.
Interesting. So this is basically the difference between. So what we can see here is basically the difference between growing maize for seeds, what we call certified seeds, and growing maize commercially, right?
Yes.
So this is how it's done.